Welcome back to Rattlesnake TV, guys. You may have noticed that there has been a little protest or riots going on in Los Angeles and other parts of the United States over the past few days. These people are rioting because Donald Trump is deporting illegal immigrants, but is that really the reason they're rioting?
Got this whole corral of materials, just a bag of rocks, a bundle of rocks, pallets, trash cans, cinder blocks. What the fuck? These streets come riot ready or what?
And this Saturday, on the 14th of June, they have got nationwide protests called the No Kings movement at nokings.org. So what are we seeing here? Is this just a grassroots, ground-up protest where people decided to get out and fight for their freedoms, or are we seeing something much more sinister? We will be exploring all of that today. So before we get into it, don't forget to smash that like button on the way in and subscribe if you are new here. Now, they say follow the money, and that's always a pretty good plan. And one of the things that you come across when you follow the money is the Party for Socialism and Liberation, a revolutionary communist party that get their funding from a man named Neville Singham, who sold a tech company, made millions, consulted for Chinese company Huawei, which is directly involved with the Chinese Communist Party, and then started a bunch of non-profits. But Neville Singham isn't the only billionaire that we should be looking into. Have a look at these videos.
The No Kings protest that's happening all over America on June 14th, funded by Walmart. Right there, paid for by Christy Walton. Christy Walton is the billionaire heiress of Walmart, worth almost $20 billion. What do you think her end game here is? Like, is she really worried about authoritarianism or human rights abuses? Or is she just after cheap labor? Okay, over 70% of SNAP recipients and Medicaid users were full-time workers, and many of them are from Walmart. The irony is certainly not lost on me that the biggest organized protest against a so-called king is being organized by an oligarch.
This is wild. A mysterious black truck just passed out all of these expensive bionic face shields to protesters in LA, and the news caught it on camera. I zoomed in and found out this is the UVEX bionic shield. These are not cheap. They're around $45 to $65, and you can't just get them in bulk. But one place that sells them is Walmart. And why is that important? Because there's a new protest being promoted called No Kings on June 14th. And even celebrities like Chrissy Teigen are posting it. And it's in magazines and newspapers. And guess who's behind this message? Christy Walton. That's right, one of the billionaire heiresses, a part of the Walmart family. Now, I don't know why they would be behind that protest against President Trump, but remember, just less than 3 weeks ago, President Trump tweeted about the whole tariff situation, saying Walmart should stop trying to blame tariffs as the reason for raising prices throughout the chain. Walmart made billions of dollars of last year, far more than expected. Between Walmart and China, they should, as is said, eat the tariffs and not charge valued customers anything. I'll be watching, and so will your customers.
Looking further now into the organizers of these peaceful protests. Meet two of the prime suspects for organizing and funding the LA riots, two radical communists, or these days I guess they call themselves progressives. Leah Greenberg and Ezra Levin, both atheists and co-founders of the radical foundation Indivisible. This is a radical anti-American organization. And these are some of the people who are organizing the No Kings protest for June 14 around America. Journalist Karlin Bishenko actually infiltrated one of their Zoom meetings, and this is what they were saying.
As we are watching the escalation of brutal raids terrorizing communities across the country, and the deployment of the National Guard to Los Angeles, we know there is a direct connection between the attacks on immigrants and the ways that Trump and Miller are creating and manufacturing chaos as a pretext for their crackdowns on dissent and protest for everyone. Trump is sending the military to Los Angeles. He is, at the same time, he is bringing tanks to DC. At the same moment that he is terrorizing communities, he is throwing himself a birthday parade on June 14th, this Saturday. He wants to look strong. He wants to embrace the visuals of strength. What he does not understand is that power does not come from fascist theatrics. It comes from us.
I don't think there's ever been a more appropriate time for me to tell you that the mainstream media actually hates you and they continuously gaslight you, so you should not trust them. And this is why I like partnering with Ground News. Check out this story from today with Josh Hawley launching an investigation into LA protest funding. And the cool thing is with Ground News, you can see how it's being reported left, center, and right. And importantly for this one, ownership. How many of the sources being reported are actually independent news? And the great part about Ground News is that instead of having to get all of these random subscriptions, they compile tens of thousands of sources in one place, all for your convenience. It certainly makes my job a lot easier. And for you guys, for Rattlesnake TV listeners, they're offering a massive 40% off the Vantage plan, which is what I use. All you've got to do is go down and hit those links below, ground.news/rattlesnake. That is ground.news/rattlesnake, or hit the QR code on screen here. And don't forget, guys, when you support a company like Ground News, you support a company that is helping to keep independent sources like myself afloat. So with that, let's get back into the video.
From the people, from the consent of the governed. That is why we are organizing. I see you on this call. If you are organizing or joining an event, or I saw a lot of folks who are joining No Kings on this call. If you are organizing or joining an event, I can tell you that you are part of, as of today, 1,800 events nationwide that are happening, and the numbers are rising all the time. We think this is a crucial moment to demonstrate nationwide peaceful, nonviolent defiance that demonstrates that there is opposition to Donald Trump, there's opposition to his MAGA lackeys that is everywhere in this country, that we will not let him attack our communities, that we will not let him rampage over our rights and take a chainsaw to the Constitution, and that he will be met with opposition wherever he seeks to reign.
So it's clear that there is massive funding going into these riots from various different billionaires and NGOs and not-for-profits, as well as people like Leah and Ezra over here, organizing and mobilizing hundreds, if not thousands of protests around the country. And the protests are predicated upon the notion that Donald Trump wants to be king. So if somebody does allegedly want to be king, or if they're a fascist, then what exactly is the stated aim of these protests? Both Donald Trump and Senator Josh Hawley have come out and said that these protests are absolutely astroturfed.
Senator Tulsi Gabbard just said that these riots in LA and all over the country are orchestrated. Can you tell us anything about that?
Yeah, I think that's absolutely right, Jesse. These aren't spontaneous at all. They're about as authentic as AstroTurf. They are bought and paid for flash mobs. And I want to know who's doing the buying and the paying. That's why today I've launched an investigation. I've sent multiple investigative demands today to various groups out on social media claiming they are paying for this. They are organizing it. They are financing it. We've all seen the videos of vans driving up, handing out gas masks right before somebody blows up a car. It's time we found out, where's the money coming from? Who's really behind this? I think the American people deserve answers.
And surprise, surprise, the mainstream media is once again running cover for these protests. The Summer of Love 2.0.
More than 100 locations around the country thus far. I have a feeling there's going to be more than that. They are all organizing a nationwide day of protest for June 14th. They're calling it No Kings Day.
He wants everybody to think that he is all powerful, that he rules the world. He doesn't. We can all show up in opposition to a king in this country.
The LA County Police say that they have it under control. Carrying a flag is not illegal, as you know. What did happen in 1992 was so different from what we're seeing now. I mean, that was a real riot.
Video after video has shown that these agents are the ones provoking protesters and also making up, aggression by these protesters that later video shows people were not aggressive.
We are having an administration that's targeting peaceful protests, people that are there to protest. The president is sending the National Guard because he doesn't like the scenes. He doesn't like the scenes of people peacefully protesting.
The unrest is isolated. LA is home to millions of people, most of whom are having a normal day here on Sunday.
You know, you've heard reports that there are riots on the streets of Los Angeles. That is not what's happening across the city of Los Angeles.
Governor Newsom's right. There wasn't anything like a riot happening on Friday, Saturday.
We just witnessed a protester thanking a National Guardsman for his service here in California.
LAPD, by most estimates, had this under control last night.
No, I don't think the National Guard is needed now. Things in LA are calm. There was a protest that got a little unruly late at night.
There have been no violence where anybody that was protesting hit anybody, shot anybody, threatened anybody. Nothing has happened.
What is just a bunch of people having fun watching cars burn.
Now, furthermore, Donald Trump was dragged from pillar to post after January 6 because they said that he was inciting riots. And for this reason, they wanted to lock him up and throw away the keys. But I guess when the Democrat politicians and various people throughout the United States government do it, it's okay because they're fighting for civil rights.
They know how quickly we mobilize. That's why they're changing tactics. Because community defense works and our resistance has slowed them down before. And if they're escalating their tactics, then so are we. When they show up, we gotta show up even stronger.
And we move the agenda to support working families all over the country. And if somebody gets in our way, shame on them, because we're going to run right over them, aren't we? Shame! It's time to make their voices heard. Shame on us if we don't get out there and fight like hell every single day and make our voices heard. We've got to do that because we are united. We are right, and we're going to stand up, and we're going to fight like hell every single day. Are you ready to fight? Yes! Are you ready to fight? Yes! Are you ready to make your voices heard? Yes! Let's do it. Thank you.
But our city is being targeted because we're a sanctuary city. Trump hates us. He does not like this city. He's trying to intimidate, and he sent the guns in here on us. The governor didn't know anything about the National Guard coming here. He did it on his own. We can't be intimidated. We've got to get the people out. We've got to get the elected officials out. We've got to resist him. I'm going back out into the communities where ICE was last night to make sure people know that their elected officials are standing with them.
So I guess it's just okay when they do it. But not everybody has been on the wrong side of history with this one, guys. The tinfoil hat brigade has come out with the W, and you really love to see it. Us tinfoil hatters, once again, it's getting boring now, but we have the bragging rights. Check out some of the OGs in Sam Tripoli and Alex Jones absolutely nailing it.
We're in the Bolshevik war right now, bro. And right now what's coming up is all the pride stuff is going to be... Okay, so I had this woman come on my podcast. Her name's Mel K. She goes, I've been talking to some people in the intelligence, and they go, this gay pride stuff is going away. And the next thing you're going to see are immigration riots. This is going to be right around the next election. So hand to God, we do this episode. Next day, Starbucks is like, we're banning all the pride stuff. And now you start seeing these they're putting little breadcrumbs out, man. Little breadcrumbs. Oh, I saw this one thing in Chicago. Oh, yeah, illegal immigrants are upset about where they're staying. And these illegal immigrants who speak no English are holding up perfectly written English signs saying we're tired of how we're being treated. And now you're starting to see this over and over again. Eric, so everyone's always like when all these Republican governors are like sending these immigrants all over the country, everyone's like, yeah, you're showing those Democrats. Bro, they're moving assets. I know it sounds crazy, but that is 100%
What do you mean they're moving assets? What do you mean?
Dude, these guys coming into the country, bro, have you seen them? A lot of them are Chinese, and a lot of them are military-age people. Too. And I'm telling you, they're moving, and this is what's going to be right around 2024 election. Immigration riots, people going nuts, and it as listen to this, and you'll start seeing all the little breadcrumbs. I'm telling you, that's what they want you to think.
You're buying it.
Oh, I thought they're moving assets, bro.
You're the puppet.
They're moving assets.
What do you mean, like military people?
Dude, study the Bolshevik War. It is happening in real time. 100%.
But
I just wanted to get that out to everybody because I'm trying to warn people. This is what's next.
Been saying he's going to kill the migrants. They've been saying he's going to kill the black people with no evidence of that. It's preposterous. And so obviously they're going to stage false flags against the migrants, shoot up a big crowd protesting deportation, something like that, bomb them. But if I had to say, I'd say California, because Newsom's the one that says he's already declared an emergency, says he'll declare one over the illegals being deported, because there's a lot of educational information on how the world really works within each one of these. Like the false flags the deep state's going to stage against an illegal alien demonstration, and then blame the Trump administration and the type of group they're going to use to frame Trump and the American people. That's what they've been pre-programming and preparing and saying with no evidence. Why would Trump and Tom Homan or anybody go kill a bunch of illegal aliens? You're just going to deport them. But they're saying, oh, when Trump gets in, he's going to come kill you. We need big demonstrations. That way they get a group of them together. They wait till ICE goes out there, and then somebody attacks the crowd, and you can't tell where the shots come from, and they blame the federal government. That's guaranteed one of their main moves. You notice I've been saying it for 6 months that once Trump got back in, that was what they would pull. Then they started saying, indeed, Trump's going to attack the migrant demonstrations. This is so obvious what's going on. So people are now complaining with these demonstrations in Houston and Chicago and LA and New York and Miami. Where's the Border Patrol? The illegals are all in one spot. Tom Homan's smart. He doesn't need me to tell him it's a trap. No, you don't go get them while they're doing that. The problem is they're going to get violent soon, guaranteed, and then that's going to force the police to respond. But in blue cities, just like you saw in 2020 in the Summer of Love, mostly peaceful, burning down billions of dollars and killing dozens of people, burning up federal courthouses, they will stand down in the blue cities, forcing Trump to send in the National Guard. That's what you do when a city loses control or a state loses control. They're going to do it on purpose. And then when the military comes in, that's when they're going to do the false flag. And you've got the NGOs funding mobs, burning cars all over the place, California, Washington, Chicago, running around waving their Mexican flags and other things, saying F America, F Trump. I mean, on any one of these videos, you play it and all you hear is F Trump, F America, because that's the cool thing to do with the left. And they're going to try to crash the economy. And then if they're successful doing that, they are then going to false flag these demonstrations that are just going to get more intense and more crazy into the summer. And then they're going to activate their communists and Antifa folks, and they're going to burn much of the country to the ground. And they'll have the police in the blue cities stand down. And then when Trump tries to call the military out, they're going to call him a fascist and a dictator, and they are going to try to go to a full civil war. That's what Jamie Raskin said they would do if Trump won. That's what Carville said they would do. That's what John Podesta in the New York Times War Games planned in 2020 if they were unable to steal the election. And they said that's their plan again. The talking point is violence, and they get talking points. Now, they're badly coordinated, but this is the original Podesta point from 2020, that if they lost, they were going to hype up anger for 6 months, then burn the country down, which brings us into the summer.
So back to the rioters now. The argument is that Donald Trump wants to be a king and that they're going to protest on June 14 because this is the day that he is hosting a big parade for the 250th anniversary of American independence. They're saying that things like deporting illegal immigrants and having a military parade is fascist and that Donald Trump thinks he's the king. And now, just to show how much of a fascist he is, he's going to deploy the National Guard, the military, onto all of these peaceful protesters. And everybody's rights are going to be taken away, despite the fact that we've seen over the past nearly a week now, people trying to actually kill police officers. Because if you're throwing rocks at moving vehicles, that's attempted murder, by the way. But despite all of this and the fact that it's pretty much just been allowed to happen by all of these corrupt Democrat governors, they're still going with this line. But please, do not let the media and these politicians and these leftist revolutionary scumbags gaslight you. During the 1992 LA riots, President George W. Bush mobilized the National Guard, the US Army, and US Marines to stop violent rioters wrecking Los Angeles. It's not unprecedented, and Trump is not a dictator for this.
One is the urgent need to restore order. What followed Wednesday's jury verdict in the Rodney King case was a tragic series of events for the city of Los Angeles. Nearly 4,000 fires, staggering property damage, hundreds of injuries, and the senseless deaths of over 30 people. To restore order right now, there are 3,000 National Guardsmen on duty in the city of Los Angeles. Another 2,200 stand ready to provide immediate support. To supplement this effort, I've taken several additional actions. First, This morning, I have ordered the Justice Department to dispatch 1,000 federal riot-trained law enforcement officials to help restore order in Los Angeles, beginning tonight. These officials include FBI SWAT teams, special riot control units of the U.S. Marshals Service, the Border Patrol, and other federal law enforcement agencies. Second, another 1,000 federal law enforcement officials are on standby alert should they be needed. Third, early today, I directed 3,000 members of the 7th Infantry and 1,500 Marines to stand by at El Toro Air Station, California. Tonight, at the request of the governor and the mayor, I have committed these troops to help restore order. I am also federalizing the National Guard, and I'm instructing General Colin Powell to place all those troops under a central command.
Furthermore, if this was the reason why everybody has to go out and protest, people getting deported, then how do you explain Barack Obama being the deporter-in-chief, or so they called him?
Even as we are a nation of immigrants, we're also a nation of laws. Undocumented workers broke our immigration laws, and I believe that they must be held accountable. We all agree on the need to better secure the border and to punish employers who choose to hire illegal immigrants. We are a generous and welcoming people here in the United States, but those who enter the country illegally and those who employ them disrespect the rule of law, and they are showing disregard for those who are following the law. We simply cannot allow people to pour into the United States undetected, undocumented, unchecked, and circumventing the line of people who are waiting patiently, diligently, and lawfully. This is not going to be a free ride. It's not going to be some instant amnesty. What's going to happen is you are going to pay a significant fine. You are going to learn English. You are going to go to the back of the line so that you don't get ahead of somebody who was in Mexico City applying legally. But after you've done these things over a certain period of time, you can earn your citizenship. So that it's not something that is guaranteed or automatic. You've got to earn it, but over time, you give people an opportunity. Now, it only works, though, if you do all the pieces. I think the American people, they appreciate and believe in immigration, but they can't have a situation where you just have 500,000 people pouring over the border without any kind of mechanism to control it.
So once again, do not be gaslit into believing that this has anything to do with the deportations. It does not. These people are useful idiots and they're foot soldiers for an agenda that is much larger. And there is slight progress being made. Check out what Trump's press secretary had to say.
Since June 6th, there have been 330 illegal aliens that have been arrested as part of these riots in Los Angeles. 113 of those illegal aliens had prior criminal convictions. And overall, and this includes arrests of American citizens, there's been 157 people arrested for assault and obstruction-related charges, including the attempted murder of a police officer with a Molotov cocktail. So who is funding these illegal aliens who are coming in with this very professional riot gear? It's a question everyone in this room who cares about truth should be asking. And we encourage your help in trying to get to the bottom of that question.
So hopefully lots more of that. Maybe a few governors to be taken in with them. But anyways, guys, don't forget to check out Ground News. Links will be below. You can check out all my links as well. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. And if you'd like to watch another video, right here. Until next time, I'm Jake. This is RattlesnakeTV, keeping you armed and dangerous.